Heading to Arsenal after agreeing a £67.5 million move with Crystal Palace for the England international. So then, Mark, give us the state of play.
Like you rightly say, huge deal for Arsenal, £67.5 million for that man who had 2 years left on his Crystal Palace contract. That's a guaranteed payment of £60 million with add-ons at £7.5 million, which, ironically, is less than his release clause, which expired on Friday. Oliver Glasner took great delight in telling everyone that the release clause had expired. It turned out it didn't make too much of a difference with regards to this man's departure. We're expecting his Arsenal medical to happen tomorrow, and personal terms, not an issue because there's been talks between Eberechi's representatives and, of course, Arsenal over the course of this summer. So just a case, really, of a final farewell at Crystal Palace in what has been a really turbulent 24 hours in North London.
Yeah, very.
More to add, or?
Yeah, a lot.
He's shell-shocked.
A lot, Rob. No, look, this is the transfer window. You know, I got asked yesterday, is this the most exciting window I can remember? And look, it's a real blow for Spurs fans. I think, look, it feels like Emmanuel Petit too, you know, when he was negotiating with Spurs and then he got a taxi to Arsenal. There was that fear. I was thinking it yesterday when we heard the news that Kai Havertz had suffered this injury. Why aren't Arsenal going back in for him? So that when we got the information later that day, I've got to be honest, I wasn't massively surprised. But obviously Spurs fans are distraught now and time is ticking because they need to bring players in.
A big part of the story has been Tottenham against Arsenal, but there is another London club very much involved in this, which is Crystal Palace, who are in action in the Conference League tonight. Gary Cottrell is at Selhurst Park for us. It is a slightly strange scenario, given we know where he's going, Gary, as to whether or not he will play one last time for Palace tonight.
Yeah, it's happened to Spurs again, hasn't it? I remember Willian. I was outside Willian having his medical for Spurs, and he drove away from the medical and then diverted to Chelsea. So, yeah, not the first time that Tottenham have been left in the lurch by a midfielder. Listen, I think he will play tonight. I know there are reports emerging suggesting that Eze may well not play tonight, but I still think that he will. Let's not forget there were reports 24 hours before he played for Crystal Palace at Stamford Bridge on Sunday that he wouldn't be playing. He turned up, he started, he scored, the goal was disallowed, and he was giving his all for the team during that game. And I think the same will happen tonight for several reasons. The first reason is it's a big night for Crystal Palace, their first night in Europe. He's the vice-captain. He'll want to be involved. He'll want a chance to say goodbye to the home fans if he is to go and have his medical at Arsenal tomorrow, and it looks like he is. And the other thing is that Steve Parish has got his way in terms of the fee, the high 60s in terms of millions fee, which is what he was looking for. And I still feel, standing here right now with a few hours to go to kick-off, that he will certainly arrive with the team and certainly make an appearance. If he doesn't start, maybe not, but he'll certainly at some point be out there tonight.
And compared to some of the other scenarios that are going on this summer, you would think that Eze will get a fond farewell from the supporters inside Selhurst Park.
Yeah, they love him because, you know, he really is, I can tell you now, and the guys will tell you too, a really, really top guy. Not only a top player who's turned into obviously an England international in his time here at Crystal Palace, not only the vice-captain in the leadership group, but a lovely, lovely guy who loves the fans, who loves the clubs, who wants to show respect to the club, and he's done that throughout this whole process. Listen, I think the contrast of what has gone on elsewhere this summer really does underline just how impeccable his behaviour has been. Training properly, turning up on time, giving his all in games. Yesterday, for example, I saw him what might turn out to be the last time he left the training ground. He left quite late. He left actually at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. By then he might have known that things were going to change in terms of his final destination in North London. He looked happy and he spent 10 minutes in his car having his photograph taken, talking to fans, even talking to one fan who phoned him up via his, I assume, his sister.
That right, the talented attacking midfielder is now an Arsenal player. Confirmed by none other than the legendary transfer expert Fabrizio Romano. Eberechi Eze, 25, has been one of the standout stars in English football over the last few seasons. Known for his dazzling dribbling, vision, and creativity, Eze developed into a Premier League sensation with Crystal Palace, making him one of the hottest midfielders available. Arsenal have clearly decided to invest major funds to add this dynamic talent to Mikel Arteta's squad. The transfer fee is reported to be £75 million, making Eze one of the most expensive British players ever and a massive statement signing for Arsenal, who are looking to reclaim their place among England's elite alongside the likes of Manchester City, Liverpool, and Chelsea. Fabrizio Romano confirmed that the deal is now finalised and Eze will undergo his medical and officially be announced in the coming days. So what does Eze bring to Arsenal? His ability to unlock defences with clever passes and his flair on the ball will provide Arsenal's frontline with new creativity and unpredictability. Arteta's tactical setup is expected to revolve around his technical skill, and fans are excited about the prospect of Eze adding pace and precision to Arsenal's attack.